date is July 7th, 2025. This is Luciana Spracher representing the City of Savannah's Municipal Archives. I am interviewing Thomas McMillar for the Savannah Community Memory Project. We are conducting this interview at Woodville Community Center. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, let's start by having you tell us your full name.
Thomas James McMillar, Jr.
When were you born?
I was born September 3rd, 1955.
And where were you born?
I was born at the Georgia Infirmary Hospital.
Okay.
I was brought home to Woodville on Fair Street. I think it was number 5.
Number 5 Fair?
Yeah.
And what were your parents' names?
My parents' name was Thomas Sr. and Victoria McMillar.
What did your parents do for a living?
My father was a longshoreman and my mother worked for Chatham Nursing Home.
Had they grown up in Woodville too?
Yeah, pretty well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they were, as long as I can remember.
Did you have other family members that lived in Woodville?
Yeah, I had an aunt and an uncle that raised my mother. I know for sure. There was Wallace Hayes and Bernice Hayes. They stayed at 102 Albion Street in Savannah.
So you grew up on Fair Street. Did you guys stay on Fair Street?
No, we moved from Fair to Kingman Avenue, which we used to call Lucan Road, and we moved to Alfred Street.
And Alfred's where you are now?
Yeah, well, we moved to 26 years, where I'm at now. It's probably where my father bought. Yeah.
Where did you go to school when you were growing up?
Tompkins Elementary, Tompkins Scott Junior High, and Tompkins High School.
Do you have any memories about any of the schools you want to share?
All of them. I went from 1st to 7th grade at Tompkins. I learned from my arithmetic and math, everything at Tompkins Elementary. I remember all my teachers. I had Miss Bailey in 1st grade, Bailey in 1st grade, Miss Sampson in 2nd. I had Miss Hodrick in 3rd. I had Miss Barton in 4th. I had Miss Molan in 5th. I had Miss Otis in 6th. I had Miss Thomas, Miss Patricia Thomas in 7th. And I moved on to Scott Junior High.
So they all made a big impact on you?
Yeah, definitely.
Did you play any sports in school?
Yeah, I grew up, I played basketball at Tompkins, 1973 to 75.
That was Tompkins High School?
Tompkins High School, yeah.
Those were were those the Wolverines?
The Wolverines, yeah.
Who was your coach?
Coach Edwin James.
Did you play sports in the neighborhood as well?
Oh yeah, definitely. I grew up playing baseball, Little League baseball, and yeah, that's where I first got introduced to sports in the Woodville neighborhood. Mr. Charlie Bryan, Mr. Sad, we call him Mr. Sad, nigga Charlie Bryan. He was coach, but I started off in the midget league, small league. Midget league with Mr. Leroy Prescott. He taught us how to taught me how to put a glove on. I didn't even know how to put a baseball glove on until Mr. Prescott taught me how to put a baseball glove. I said at age 7, and I played from 7 to 12 with Mr. Prescott. Then we moved up from 13 to 15 with Mr. Prescott, and then we got from 15 to 17 with the coach lead. I think it was Amos Williams, but Mr. Bryan was, it was Ronnie Williams, excuse me. It was Amos' brother, but I came up under Amos and Ronnie playing baseball in the Woodville community.
Do you know why they call him Sad?
Mr. Bryan? I don't know, but I have the first time I met Mr. Bryan, I knew he was a real big cat, I was living on Fair Street, and I was about 6, and I went to a store down the street. My mother sent me to the store. It was called Bubba Snipe. We went to Bubba Snipe's store, went to Mr. Bubba's store, and I seen this, first time I met Mr. Brown, I seen this big old man. I was joking, I tell him, I said, boy, you was a big old man, you was a fat man, you know, and he said, I bet you if I run you down, I bet I can outrun you. He said, I bet if I run you down, can I cut your, what's called? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, you know, because I was like that. I said, yeah, you can. And sure enough, he gave me a head start. I was a little fella, I guess. He gave me a head start, but I still thought I could outrun the fat man, right? So I took off. And I took off, I ain't heard nothing but chains coming behind me. And when I got close to the house, he went to hit me with a switch. He went to top me with a switch. And my mama came to the door and she said, Sad, leave my boy alone. You know? She said, no, he told me if I catch him, I can whoop him. So my first lesson with that, Mr. Brown, was not to underestimate somebody, you know, because he was big. You know, I thought I could outrun him, but I couldn't, you know. And that was my first lesson, in not underestimating people, you know. And from that point on, I had much respect for him, you know.
So, talk about some of the other leaders in the community.
Mr. Prescott, Leroy, he just passed a few years ago. He was a great leader in my area. You know, we used to get home from school. He used to work 11 to 3, 7 to 3 shift. I guess 7 in the morning, 3 in the evening, or whatever. And we used to be at practice at 4, because it was 3 all of us used to practice on Bartow Field, and we had about an hour or so to practice. He used to take us from different places, you know, wherever we could find us, he'd take us somewhere to practice. And he taught us a lot. You know, he taught us the mental game of baseball. You know, taught us everything we needed to know. You know, about sport. Well, once I learned about baseball, I started getting involved and learning about other sports. But he taught me the values of baseball and winning. You know, it's not basically about winning. He taught me about playing the game. You know, we started off. We was 0-10. You know, I never could hit. But you know, he learned me that it ain't all about winning. It's about how you play the game and just enjoying yourself. And that's what happened. You know, he taught Mr. Prescott was a great leader in my area. You know, yeah.
Were there any women in the community that really stand out to you that you should want to lift up?
It was this lady named Miss Janie. She used to work on the park, and they were getting out the free lunches and all of that. And she used to, we used to clean the park. She taught us how to clean the park, and she was a mother figure. Right now, I still call her Mother Janie. She was someone I looked up to. And all the older ladies, they really was great.
Tell me about some of the churches or other community type buildings in the neighborhood.
Our church is New Zion. All the churches. I'm from every church. I think I've been in all of them, every one around here. But I'm a member of New Zion, and it's all the church area. It ain't like it used to be, but from coming up, we used to say our Easter speeches, and we used to go from church to church, because it was a bunch of kids, and everybody was separate, and I don't know how they used to set times, but we used to visit and we communicated a lot. Woodville is everybody just know each other and love each other. That's how we grew up in Woodville.
Tell me about the tradition of the Easter speeches.
the Easter speeches, you get a Bible verse, right? And they you know, I guess according how old, you know, for what we did, the older we did, you know, and they gave you about 2 weeks or 3 weeks to study. And they had a program, and you know, we used to do the Easter speeches, you know. A lot of us, I see a lot of cats that were real good with the speeches, they preachers now, you know, out of the community, you know. They carry the word of God. Like you have Mr. Odom, Matthew Odom, you have Howard Edwards, you know, them cats I grew up with, you know, and you know, that's how we was raised, you know, in the Bible, you know.
What were some of the businesses that were in Woodville?
When I was small,
Yeah.
we had let me see, I can't, growing up, we had a cat, I think his name was we call him Mr. Smith. He the only one I know with the grocery store. He had a grocery store. I think he started, the first time I can remember, he started on Wright Street. No, but somebody said he started from on the end of Africa. I think when I was a little boy, he started from Wright, and he moved from Wright to Kingman Avenue, and that was what's called, man. We had grocery stores. We had Mr. Steve across the track here. Yeah, and like I said, Bubba Snide. You know, we had a lot of little places, you know, go get snacks. Miss Rybana, she used to have a little stove. You know, we bought cookies, grills, you know. Every house was, you know, you could mostly get a snack or, you know, get you a thrill in the summertime, you know. We had Miss Carla, she used to serve canned apples on Listener, you know. It was just fun growing up in the neighborhood.
Tell me a little bit about how the neighborhood was maybe different, more people had gardens and animals and livestock.
Oh yeah. Oh man, I can remember in the sugar cane, I'm talking about you turn, then you know, collard greens. It was a cat, Mr. Elmo, Mr. John, Mr. Elmo, they had their gardens all over the place. They had green sugar cane, but most I remember a lot of sugar cane patches. You know, we had a lot of sugar cane, we had a lot of greens, and you know, tomatoes. We had a bunch of gardens, you know.
Were the gardens in the sugar cane just for people to use in their homes, or were they selling them at markets?
I think they were selling them at market, but most of the time they were like, you know, say Mr. Elmo, we stayed right across the street from him, so when he and Mr. John, you know, when they do what they do, you know, they used to send it down. See, I came out of the household, we had 7. I came out of the household with 7. So, you know, with 9 with me and my siblings, you know. And Mr. John and Mr. Elmo and them, you know, they sugar cane, syrup or something, you know, they used to send it over to the house, you know. I mean, I don't never remember paying for nothing, you know. I'm talking about growing up as a young cat. I don't remember paying for nothing. I don't think my mama knew. If they did, it wasn't no at store price. But you know, Woodville took care of Woodville, you know, put it like that.
Did you do anything else in the neighborhood for fun besides baseball?
Besides baseball, we had basketball, baseball, yeah. I played all the sports. We used to play sandlot football from street to street, go to street to street, cane, different hats, you know. We grew up doing we had a lot of fun in the neighborhood, you know.
As an adult.
But you know, we didn't have this only park we had was right here. We had a park here. And I think we got, I ain't familiar with that one over here. The park that I'm familiar with is right here. This is the only park we had, like I said, they used to give us free lunches. And we spent a lot of time up under here. You know, we cutting grass and
The park where the community center is now.
yeah, we sitting now, yeah.
Before there was a building though?
Before there was a building, right? Before there was a building.
Was there, as you got older, was there social activities for adults?
No, cause we didn't have no. They didn't have no building. You know, I think most of the time, most of the things we used to do, we used to play baseball and softball. You know, out here.
So
Volleyball, they used to bring out a net. You know.
churches are mostly the social activities for the adults then?
Yeah, definitely.
Tell me about what are the boundaries of Woodville?
The boundaries would be from, I say, with that Highway 80 to Kings, whatever, division, that's the division, but the name of that street, Hopkins Street to the end down there. That's straight up, that's the length from 80 to Hopkins, I think that we call it. I don't know, I can't remember. I think it's Hopkins Street. It's Alfred, Luciana. I think the next one over to the right is Hopkins. That's the boundary. The straight up shot from Alfred, all the way down Alfred to Hopkins. From what that is, over here across the track, because we used to call it across the track, Old Louisville Road. From Old Louisville Road to Bay Street. That's the boundary. Woodville, to the tracks. The tracks separate what you call. I went Woodville, Joe Anchorage, we used to cross the tracks to go to Joe Anchorage and the Francis Bartow playground. But I would say when we crossed the tracks, we was in Bartow. So I would say the tracks is the boundary.
Okay, railroad track, okay. How have you seen Woodville change over the years?
Has it changed? Very, very much. It just, I guess, people done died out. You know what I mean? Like I say, it's Woodville getting old. That's how it changed. We got all these new houses, and it's a beautiful thing. But hey, I remember, we had near this many houses. So I guess the houses and the people, houses and people had changed.
What are some of your favorite memories? If somebody asked you, what makes Woodville special? What sticks out in your mind?
When I was coming up, I couldn't go, if I decided to skip school before I get home, my parents already knew. It was family raising people, we could, we was a village, everybody was responsible for, if you did something, somebody knows you, and, it was like that. That's how Woodville was, we was a village. One stern hand,
The whole village was one stern hand.
Yeah, if you see us doing something and you spanking us, and we go home and tell our parents, then we're gonna get another one. So it just we were just connected. It was much respect. All we growing up, we had to respect our elders. Put it like that. That's the strong point of Woodville. We always had respect for our elders. I can remember that we must have respect for our elders.
Is there anybody that we haven't talked about that you want to mention?
Well, for as me, for as my growing up in spoke, Uh, uh, I just the neighbors in general, like I say, everybody looked out, I had, I had, my godmother was Dr. Well. She had a strong upbringing in my upbringing, and there's a lot of people,
Tell me a little bit about her. What?
Miss Well,
Yeah.
she was a strong lady, she very friendly and know everybody, and she was just a mother figure, she was a mother figure to guys my age that know her, So if I was to have to talk about the older people that had a hand with me, I would have to bring her up. I wouldn't want to talk about the community and wouldn't want to say nothing about her.
Mm-hmm. Did she have a job? Did she work?
Not far as I can remember now. I think I might have seen her in a white uniform way back in the day. I can't honestly swear, but like I say, she was a mother figure, so she probably took care of the folk. She probably had the folk down. I don't want to say I ain't never seen her with a job, because I don't know.
That's
But I
not
know.
how you interacted with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about you a little bit. So, after you graduated Tompkins, what did you go on to do?
I went to follow my father's footsteps. I went ILM.
Longshoreman?
Look, 14, yeah.
Okay. And how long did you do that?
I'm going on 42 years.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
And did you get married?
Yeah, I'm married.
Children?
Yeah, 3 kids. Yeah.
Is there a third? Because you're a junior, right?
No, not third. I got some grand. I got 3 grand. More than 3 grand, but
All right.
yeah.
Anything else you want to share with us today?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I love the story about the race and learning to put on your baseball glove, and really appreciate you taking the time with us this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.